Good morning from the Philippines. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our third Well Club rally. Everybody can unmute and say hello to each other.
Hello.
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 Hello. Good
Hi.
evening from
Hello.
Philippines.
I'm glad you're all here. Let's go ahead and take a look at where our prices are at the moment. So let me share my screen. And let's go first. Well, let's go here. Let's take a look. Earlier today, when I put this thing together, the price for PFI was 2,596. I bought $1 after that, and the price went up to something like 2,600 and something. So it went up a little bit. And maybe more now. PFB 10,943. PFS $15,023, and PFG $820,494. So if you look at the 50th holder, okay, this is the number that they're holding of those coins, and you multiply the price against that number, and it tells you what it's going to take to be at the 50th level, right? So you could become a whale today for as little as $240 on PFB. Let's take a look at the charts. Go here to the charts. PFI is currently sitting at, and my browser is really slow, so wanting me to update it. So I don't want to do that because it might throw off it might mess up my meeting. So we're sitting at $2,629 for PFI. PFB, currently PFB is at $10,604. PFS currently sitting at 15,029. So it's pretty close to the chart. And PFG is at 820,750. Okay. So if we take a look at the holders, in order to get into the World Club, you got to be in the top 50 on any one of the coins here. So if we take a look at PFI, there's 10,000, I'm sorry, I meant to say there's 10 million PFI coins altogether. And we refresh this. Okay. There's a total of 1,689 holders currently. Okay. And the 50th person is holding about 11% of a coin. Okay. So 1144, how does that compare? Yeah, 1144. It's the same. Okay. So for $297, you could become a whale today on PFI. And then if we go to PFB, there's 1 million PFB coins, and there is 1,849 holders, and the 50th holder is holding 2%, 2.2 basically. 19 would be about 2, right? So 2.2% of a coin, and to be a whale there. So yep, same. So for a bargain price of $240, you can become a whale on PFB. Okay. And we go to PFS. So there's 100,000 PFS coins, and there are only 351 holders altogether, and almost 17% of a coin to be the 50th holder, and that is the most expensive choice today. As far as the cost to become a whale, about $2,500 will get you there. Okay, and then PFG. There's 223 holders. There's only 10,000 coins altogether. And 0.0000, so 3 zeros, 54. $447 becoming well there. So let's see if any of you guys can get into the well club from where if you don't own any coin at all, right? That's what it would cost you. If you have some coin, it's going to cost you less, right? To get into the well club. Okay. So let's see if we can make the charts move today. You can go ahead and go to Pancake Swap and just start doing some trading. So let me just make sure I'm in the right wallet here. I think in my personal wallet, let me change it to my personal wallet here. Ace Fletcher. That's the 0C3. So I've already got that here. So I'll refresh this. My wallet is connected. While that's loading, let's just go look at the price again. So 827.50. What did we say over here? 820, so 494. Let me just put it in here. PFG 820 750. Let me do a trade. Yeah, it's really getting stuck here. Okay, there we go. So we change that to PFG. Currently, I don't have any in my wallet. There's 0. Let's fix that. Let's change that. Put 50 here. And let's see here. So it's giving me 47.98. That's pretty close. 2.2% confirm. So this is what you guys can be doing with any of the coins during the rally. We'll just be checking the price as we go. I'm doing a request here. Taking a little while to load. There it is. Then I'll confirm the transaction. So not enough to get into the well club, but it's a start as far as PFG is concerned. Okay, close that. A little laggy. Okay, good deal. Okay. There it is. So 4 zeros and a 5. So I've gone from 0 up to 4, 4 zeros behind the decimal point. And then that impacted the price. Refresh that. Okay. So looks like it went up $40,000. So 861, 836, 861, 836, 861, 836, 861, 836. Yep. So $50. PFG pushed the price up a lot. Now I forgot it. 861, 836. 861, 836. 861, 836. So you can see how with the it's the on the liquidity, it's the number of coins available. In this case, the PFG coin. Number of those coins available are very small amount available, and that makes it possible for us to move the price a lot with the USDT. Okay, so the price moved over $40,000. $50 moved the price 40,000. What do you guys think of that?
Nice.
So it doesn't take much. I'm telling you guys, it's not going to take much for us to hit our price targets when enough of you come in and just start buying. Okay, you're going to want to get into the Well Club. Okay, the Well Club, I'm telling you, the wells are going to be kind of like the center point of pool funding moving forward. So basically, think of the Well Club as like the smallest group, right? Less than 200 people, right? 50 people, up to 50 people per coin. But see, many of you are in more than one, your wells in more than one coin. So it's less than 200, right? So less than 200 of you, and then there's 10,000 co-founders, and then there's 1 million partners, right? So think of it like that. So you got the wells, the co-founders, the partners, and then the members. Okay. So we're at the beginning of this. So the wells, people are going to want to meet the wells. So the future for the wells is they're going to have the opportunity to travel for free. I'll be directing them over here and over there and wherever they want to go. Where do you want to go? Right? Mr. and Mrs. Well, where do you want to go? Okay, we'll send you there. I want you to go meet our members over there, right? Another country, another state, whatever. Okay. We'll have you guys floating around all over the place because people want to meet the wells. Okay, you guys are going to have the power. You're going to have the connections. You're the ones with the most coin, right? Naturally. So those with the majority of the coin, dollar and cent wise, that's what matters. Is how much dollars and cent wise do you have in your possession, and over time, as we go from price target to price target, how much you have is going to be more and more, right? So moving from price target to price target is very valuable. So yeah, all expense paid trip, plane travel, hotel stay, all expense paid. Okay, this is what it's intended for the wells. So when I tell you we're gonna, the value of being a well is at least $100 million, just on the all expense travel portion of it, that's going to be a big part of the what I'm saying. Okay, so there's going to be less than 200 of you experiencing that, and you'll be basically ambassadors, of our pool funding coin in the world, and because you're going to speak highly of it because you're at the very top of the holders, right? You're at the top 50. Is any part of that not making sense to any of you, or does it make sense what I'm saying to you?
Makes sense to me.
Makes
Okay.
for me it's nice. It's
Yeah.
great, boss.
Very, very exciting. So you're gonna want to fight to get into the well spot. You're gonna want to fight to stay in a well spot because trust me, the people that are from 51 to 100, they want to be wells, and they just need to buy a little bit more in order to bump out, the person that's on the 50th spot there, right? So 51 and 50, there should be a battle going on there. Who can hold that 50th spot, because that's where we draw the line. Okay. You're a well if you're in the 50th spot. Wells are going to get a lot of perks and rewards in addition to these future travel events that I'm talking about. And then go further down into the pool funding. We get into what we call the economic development portion of pool funding. And then it's really the wells who are going to basically have, the most, pool funding coin influence over the whole community, that it's their projects that will matter. Now I know Cliffietta, for example, here, she's got more than one thing that matters to her, And so what if you were able to use your position as a well to expand, the projects that matter to you. So think about what matters to you. It might be an association with your church. It might be an association with your hobbies. It might be an association with your interests, or your, just the things that matter to you. So each of you are different. Each of you are going to come to the table with some sort of something that matters to you. Okay. For example, something I'm not currently doing, but I am very interested in doing, is I want to be part of the I just call it the flying car revolution, but they're going to be called drones, right? We know they're going to be drones. We're already seeing, this being, it's happening. There are already places like Dubai and other places that they have already started to, lay the groundwork for taxis, drone taxis to, pick you up here, fly you over there, drop you off there, right? Like a taxi service, but in the air. Okay. Now, here in the Philippines, there's like 7,000 islands, and each island is kind of small in a sense. You compare it to like a state in the US, right? I mean, some of these islands are kind of small, like a Rhode Island, like where Ed's from. Rhode Island is not exactly, it's a state, but it's not exactly a big geographical location, right, Ed? It's kind of
That's it.
small, right?
That's it.
Yeah. But just imagine like 7,000 of those, you know. And so, well, that's one of the things I want to be a part of. I want to help. I want to be a part of building drones. creating drone networks and services, and I think the Philippines would be perfect for it because let's face it, when you're dealing with an island, the roads are too small and there's too many cars, and so um, you know, in the US, I used to think in my mind, 10 miles is 10 minutes away, right? But here in the Philippines, 10 miles could be 2 hours away. Okay. That's how crazy it is here in the Philippines, trying to get from here to there by car is with all the traffic, nothing is moving very fast here. You don't have like these super freeways where people are going 80 miles an hour. They do have a few of those, but they're not very common. You might have to drive an hour to get to one of those places where you can go as fast as 80 miles an hour, but I still think that's over the speed limit here, what you're supposed to go. But to me, there should be just all these things flying around so people can get to where they want to get to. Imagine going from one island to the next and it'll only take you 10 minutes. Well, it might take all day, because you got to get in a car and go to a port and then wait and get on a ferry, and then take that ferry over to the next island by sea, and then land on the next island. That could take all day, you know. Imagine hopping into a drone, that maybe certain areas you could go 100 miles an hour or 200 miles an hour and just you're there. 10 minutes later, you're on a different island. That's what I see as a project that I'd be excited about being part of. And that's not $1 million project. It's definitely in the high millions, right? Maybe 100 million, and up from there, right? 100 million to $1 billion kind of thing. It's going to take that kind of money to launch a serious network of flying cars, and I think that's where we're going to go anyway, right? Well, we've all seen the cartoon The Jetsons. It's how it's supposed to be, and we've seen plenty of future movies showing it. So I think we all can accept the idea that that's where we're going anyway. And I don't know about you, but I hate traffic. Does anybody love traffic here? I don't.
Nope.
So, what's the traffic like there in Panama where you're at?
Actually, not too bad, but if you go into the bigger cities, like say David, that's when it gets really bad. Think New York,
Right.
and
Yeah.
you have some idea.
Yeah, you go 3 blocks, it takes you an hour to go 3 blocks, right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I heard like the Manhattan or whatever, the traffic there is terrible. That's why a lot of people are doing the subway thing, because get somewhere faster on a subway than you can in a car. But yeah, and I picture housing, a lot of these condominiums and things like that. I can picture each condominium having a place just to fly your little car into your condo, so everybody just be built that way. The condos of the future are, each has its own little pad, much like George Jetson, and it's the same thing from the cartoon. I think they read the future right on that one. But that's something I'm excited about because I'm kind of don't have the patience to sit in traffic all day. I'd rather be sitting here online all day than being in the car just waiting to get somewhere, So I don't get out much because of that. I'd rather just be online. I can go where I want to go online and get where I want to go and meet who I want to meet. So I love being online because I get where I want to go fast online. All right, so let's see if we made an impact on our charts. I'm just kind of using the time to kind of show you. But imagine if, as well, you could put your project in front of people and get other people who have coins together, and you put your coins together into a project, and then launch a project, and then get the paper money to back it up and all that, right? So that's where this is going. And see, the whales are going to be the ones that are going to know about this stuff first. Okay. They're gonna be the center. I'm promising you guys, it's the center. The value of being a well is $100 million over the next 20 years. You can get in now for $200 or $300. I mean, it's an amazing opportunity. All right, so let's share my screen again. Let's go back to the charts. Let's just do a quick refresh at 861. And anybody else join me on buying gold today? No. Okay, let's move over to PFI. Any movement there? Let's refresh it. I think we are seeing some movement. Looks like it's gone up a little bit here. Although it's only showing $2 on this one. Let's see what's happening on, let's see, on version 2. Okay. So I hope you all didn't come as watchers. I hope some of you came with a little bit of change in your pocket to put something in today. All right, so it looks like 2691, 2691, and we were at 2596. Okay, so it's gone up a little bit. Couple of dollars going in there. Might as well pump that one up too. Let's put $50 in there. Okay, I'll buy today. I'll come in as a buyer. Do $50 on there. When I buy, it makes it a little harder for you to become a well, you want to beat me to it, guys.
Percent.
Go. What did $50 do for to PFI? Confirm. Almost 2% of a coin, 0.176, almost 2%. Take a look at it now. $50. $50 move PFG $40,000. And $50 on PFI. Looks like it moved like a little over $100. So price went up to 27.86, 27.86. It was 25.96. Yeah, $150. So, triple the value there. Check PFB. PFS. PFB. Sorry, I've got a little bit of lag here because I need I got an update. I should have done that earlier today. I didn't notice it until I started. reload the page. I keep clicking on it, nothing happens. Okay. Should refresh here shortly. Super laggy. Yeah, it's kind of boring watching how long it takes to load a page here. Let's just talk. Some of you are already wells. So if you're a well in at least one of the coins, go ahead and shout out, I'm a well. If you're a well,
I'm a whale.
okay. Anybody besides Hunter already a well? So Ed, you're not. Rosalie, I thought you were. Paul, you're not a well?
I will be within a couple of weeks.
Okay. Peter, how about you? Are you a well? Okay. Well, the
How do
opportunity.
you know when you become a whale?
Ruth, oh yeah, as soon as you're in the as soon as you're in the top 50. So this is Ruth Brown asking, right?
Yes.
So you're well if you're one of the top 50 holders, right? So what you want to do is you look at your wallet. Okay.
Yes.
I'm trying to, this thing always gets in the way, this Zoom toggle thing. So if you go take a look at your wallet. So this is my personal wallet here for Ace Fletcher. Okay.
Mhm.
It's going to open up soon. Tokens. Okay. So in PFB, I've got like 2.5% there in PFB, right? So if I had to go to PFB
Okay.
here, right? 2.5%. Yeah, there's my wallet right there. See that wallet address? It ends with a C0 C3. That's my wallet right
Okay.
there. So I'm a well in PFB. So the the 2 point I'm sorry, the 0.2446, there it is right there. Okay. So if you're in the top 50 holders of the coin, okay, you're in the top
Oh, I
50,
see.
that makes you a well. That's how you become a well. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then see, I've got PFG. I just barely bought that. That's not enough to be a well in PFG. PFI, 6%. I believe that makes me a well in PFI. So let's take a look at the here. 6%. That's the wrong one. Or no, maybe I'm wrong. No, that's PFI. So 6%. Nope, it's not enough to be a well because you need 11% to be a well there. Okay. And on PFS, I've got 38% of a coin there. Okay. That definitely puts me as a well there on PFS. That's PFB, PFS, probably this one. That's PFG, PFS. Okay, so 17%, so I'm above that. I'm at 30 something. So yeah, there's my wallet right there. I'm number 4, right? So there's my wallet, C0, C3, 38, says 38%. Continue, refresh that.
Mhm.
Want to make sure got the most current information. Yeah, so 38% there of a coin. You should show that here. PFS. Yeah, 38%. So it matches up there. Okay. So that's how you know. And only 200 people in the whole world or less. It's 200 or less, right? And I say less because some people are well in more than one coin, right? So you only need to be a well in one coin to be in the club. But you get kudos.
Okay.
You get that. If you're in you're well in more than one of the four coins, right? If you're in two of the coins or three or four of the coins, if you're well in all of them, like wow. But that's like four positions out of the 200, right? So less than 200 people are going to get this privilege. And imagine when we get to our price target, and our price target again, 500,000 for PFI, 1 million for PFB, 2 million for PFS, and 4 million for PFG. Those are our price targets. So when we go from the current price up to our price target, the value of the coins you're holding at this level, even though it might be less than a coin at this point, it may be less than a coin, that actually is going to be worth a lot of money when the coin values are, millions of dollars each. Okay. Think about it.
Okay.
For example, what's 38% of $2 million, right? It's a lot, right?
Okay.
38% would be close to $1 million. It's about half almost, right? So
Okay.
the point is we're gonna go from price target to price target to price. I'm just telling you the future before it happens. Okay. So
Okay.
the way that I do things is I tell you what I'm going to do, and then I do what I said I was going to do, and then and then we talk about what I said I was going to do after I did what I did, right? So that's the pattern. Okay. So if you
All
want to
right.
if you want a clue about the future of pool funding, if you listen to me, then you'll know all about the future. Okay, when it comes to pool funding,
Okay.
and all you got to do is fit into your place into that future, right? So don't miss this window. This window right now, before we hit our first price targets, that window is special. Most of the wells will be identified upon reaching our first price target because the price will be much more expensive. You won't be able to get in for $200-300. If you want to be a well after we hit our price targets, it might take $5,000-10,000 to become a well, right?
Oh,
And then
okay.
when we hit our second price target, it might cost you tens of thousands of dollars to become a well, right? And we hit our third price
Okay.
target, it might cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars to become a well. So you see how fewer and fewer people are going to have the means, the ability, cash wise, to actually fall into that position. So this is really an early bird
Okay.
offer. So this is an offer for the people that showed up early instead of the people showing up with
Oh,
all
okay.
the money. Okay.
Yes.
So that's huge.
All
And
right.
it
Thank
doesn't take
you.
much to move the prices to their price targets. So once, this is why I'm also starting the culture of everybody buying $1 a day, because that will help also with price stability if everybody does that. So we want to get to the price target, and then we want to establish price stability as we move towards the next target and the next target, and so on and so on. But I'm telling you, being a well in pool funding is going to be one of the most. It's going to be one of the highest honors you could ever get in life. You'll be. I mean, look at how people are treated if they're a Bitcoin well. Look at the Bitcoin wells today. Look how they get treated, right? So anybody that is a millionaire in Bitcoin right now, is probably considered a Bitcoin well, right? So right now, if you're sitting on 10 Bitcoin, you might be considered a well, with just 10 Bitcoin, you know.
Okay.
And there's 21
I'm
million of
going to
those
check my
coins.
wallet this evening. I'm going to check my wallet this evening.
There you go. Yeah.
Ace, I just purchased. Ace, I just purchased $100 PFS.
Yay. Let's go look at what happened then. All right. So let's see here. PFS. Share screen. All right. Let's take a look. We were at the PFS was at 15,023. Okay. So now let's see where it went. 15,023. $100. PFS. I think that's PFS. Yep, the Chrome browser really is slow today because it needs to be updated. So I apologize for the lagginess. It's my fault. Let's refresh. That's PFB. So it went PFS. Was it this one? Okay. Okay, it looks like it went up to it went up $200 according to that first read. Looks like it might have done more than that though. Okay. The PFS now. It says 16,491. So, and down here it says 17,003, right? So it's showing a lower price there, but technically I would count the 17.3. Because if I were to buy $5 of that, it would lock that price in to 17.3. And I'll do that for you. But we were at $15,023. So it went up basically $2,300, buddy. So I'll buy $5 of PFS. Help lock the price there. PFS. Because it wants to give the lower price right now, 16,000. Wait to load. There she is, $5. Confirm that. See, I'm pretty sure it's going to sell to me as though I was buying it to 17,300. Okay. Take a look at it here. PFS. Yeah, like I said, now it pushed us right into the 17. Remember, it was 16,000. Now it says 17,000 there. So that extra $5 just helps solidify the price over 17,000. And yeah, now it's showing 17,044. Okay, so it's PancakeSwap's trying to give you the best deal it possibly can. So it brought the price down from 17,300 down to 17,044. But my $5 helped keep it up there above 17,000, so it didn't drop all the way back down to 16,000. That's where once we get more traffic on our coins, where people are buying every day, if everybody just bought $1 a day, that the level of traffic would impact. Even though $1 is such a small number, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that why isn't my video turning on? Weird. Can you guys see me okay? Is it showing black on my screen?
Not yet.
Oh, there
It
it
looks like
goes.
it's trying to.
Okay.
There we go.
I think I need to reboot the whole computer. I think I need to do multiple updates. All right. Anyway,
Yeah, probably.
so there you go, guys. So what we want people to realize is that becoming a well, the chance to get in the club is now, before we hit our price target, before we actually get to the 500,000, 1 million, 2 million, 4 million. Okay, before we get to those price targets on the 4 coins, get in now, where you can get in and become a well for a couple $100. Okay. And then do your best to hold your spot. Okay. So obviously, people in the top 10, it's much easier for them to hold their spot than it is in the bottom 10, right? Where from 40 to 50. So the people that are in the well from 40 to 50, they're the most vulnerable, because the guys that are from 51 down to 100, those guys are fighting to get into between 40 and 50, right? So they're going to try and buy their way up into that. So that's the battleground. Okay. And get in there and fight for it, so that it'll make your voice even more powerful inside of pool funding on the long-term basis. Okay, long term. And here's another thing. I think we're going to end up with, when it's all said and done, when people wake up to the reality of what's going on with the Well Club, we're going to end up with something like 5 to 10 clans. Okay. When I say clan, does that mean anything to you guys when I say clan?
An alliance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could say family, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes clans include friends, don't they? You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
the people we hang out with, the people that we care and love about the most, they're our clan, And so we're going to probably end up with, instead of 200 different individuals, we're going to probably end up with 5 or 10 clans, and each clan's probably going to have the main spokesperson, right, for the clan, right? And then the others are, they follow that leader in their clan. So that makes my job easier, because then I'm really putting my attention on 5 or 10 people that are really steering the Well Club, their power. And then those 5 or 10 people will have my ear like forever. Okay. Like, hey, Ace, we need to do this. Hey, Ace, we need to do that. The ones that are going to be the most powerful are the ones in that Well Club saying, hey, Ace, okay. If someone comes in and they're one of our partners and we got 1 million partners, you know what I'm saying? Who do I listen to if I have a choice between listening to someone who's leading a clan in the Well Club, or just one of 1 million different partners that we have? Who do I pay attention to? Think about it, right? So that's what I'm talking about. The power of influence is going to be the greatest being in a smaller group. Okay. 10,000 is a big group. I can't possibly talk to 10,000 people all the time. Right. So I'm telling you, the future is me on a plane with you, in the Well Club, flying around, meeting members, meeting our partners, meeting our general members all over the world, as we go to 1 million members, to 10 million members, 100 million members. Look, I'm thinking like Facebook, 1 billion members. Okay, and then we have that much collective bargaining power. When 1 billion people come together and they want to do something, okay, in the world, it's going to happen, right? Who could outpower 1 billion people who are, care to get something done, right? Among things I think that are important to get done: ending poverty, completely wiping it off the face of the earth. That needs to get done. Ending hunger, that comes first. Okay, you can't end poverty without ending hunger. Am I right? So ending hunger is going to happen before ending poverty, because there's less people that are hungry going to die of hunger than there are people that you consider they don't have enough financial means to live a dignified life. poverty to me is living below dignity, something less than dignified, you know, in financial terms. Okay. Those things matter. And I don't think we can do that by just welfare. Okay. I think welfare is a component, but I think what we need to do is we need to educate and we need to change the minds of people who think in a certain way, that in their own mind, they're actually creating the poverty for themselves. Because it's not like there's a lack of opportunity or a lack of money in the world. Okay. There's plenty of opportunity and there's plenty of money. Why are there so many poor people? Because the individual ain't thinking right. Okay. And so we need to educate people on how to think right, how to think in a way where they win financially, right? And that they don't actually get like like there's not like a big reward for being poor, right? Sometimes people have a poverty mindset because they think that's where all the rewards are. They can get this little crumb of welfare or that little crumb of welfare. That's not right, you know. We want people to be self-sufficient. Imagine a world where all of humanity, every adult in humanity is actually self-sufficient. They carry their own weight and they're responsible. Imagine that world, right? Would you guys want to live in that world where every adult carries their own weight and has the means to do so, and they're not shut out from anything? Okay. That's what we're talking about. So we're talking about influence, and where's that influence going to come back to the point of the spear? It's going to be the well club and pool funding. Okay. All right, go ahead, Hunter. Get your hand up.
If I've said it once, I've said it, I don't know, 20, 25 times by now. From little acorns to mighty oaks grow. That's exactly where we're heading.
Well said. Good place to finish off today's meeting. I want to thank all of you for coming, and hey, Peter, good win on your part. You pushed the price up there a couple $1,000, buddy.
There you go.
All right, so there's evidence, guys. That's what we call evidence. You got power here. It doesn't take much money to have power right now. Okay. So take advantage of this window. This is a brief window in time where a little bit of money moves a lot inside of pool funding. Okay, in our Coinbase. So thank you all for coming and attending our third, not our last, but our third Well Club rally. We'll probably do another one a week from now. Our fourth one will probably be next Saturday, unless my wife tells me something else is going on that I don't know about. I'm not thinking that there is, but probably a week from now we'll get together and have our fourth well rally. Let's get our clans together. Now's the time to organize the clan, right? You and your clan come in here and grab your share, and I'm telling you, the rewards long term for you in pool funding are huge. You know, going to be huge. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you all for your participation, and I appreciate all of you. And I'm taking note of who's here. And we did have a little. I did a little spinner thing, but I couldn't. I had trouble using my MetaMask. I couldn't open it. But I got some IOUs. I'm going to pay off as soon as I refresh my browser and all that. I'll take care of those IOUs. So if I owe you, some of you, $10, $11, $13, $17, whatever you got on the little spinner for being an early bird today. Hey, it pays to show up early. So don't just come to our meetings. Come early to the meeting. Okay, that's the message there. So thank you all for coming, and bye for now. We can all unmute now. Bye for now.
Bye
Bye
for now.
Bye for
Bye
now.
now.
To the
Thanks,
moon.
everybody. Bye.